Yeah, dear students, this is Bashir, Math faculty at Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. Dear students, first of all of you please subscribe to Infinity Learn JEE YouTube channel, and hereby we are giving solutions to most of the papers what you are writing, right dear students. Now our session, discussion is related to 14th July dated JEE Main Mock Test 3, and the topic, subject is math. Let us enter the questions without any further ado. Okay, right, the first question, my dear students, you see the distance of the point 3, 4, 5 from the plane x plus y plus z is equal to 2 measured parallel to the line. Fine, okay. This model we can do like plane equation is given, a point is given. We know how to find perpendicular distance, but he is asking us to find the distance parallel to this line. That means you have to measure the distance of this in this way. If you want to do the procedure, what you can do is, you know this point 3, 4, 5 and you know this plane equation x plus y plus z is equal to 2. You know this line's drs are going to be 1 by 2, 1, 1, or else I can say 1, 2, 2, right. So for this particular line also drs are 1, 2, 2. Now you can find a general point on the line, you can substitute this point in the plane, you will get this point, then you can find the distance between A and B. This is the procedure. Rather, you can also apply a shortcut, a direct formula to find the distance in this format. For this line, the drs are going to be 1, 2, 2. You just find the dc's, my dear friend. Dc's in the sense x, 2x, 2x. Sum of their squares must be 1, which is 9x square is equal to 1. So x you can take 1 by 3. So the dc's are going to be 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 2 by 3. Okay. Now the formula is, dear students, modulus of ax1 plus by1 plus cz1 plus d by, you can write a cos alpha plus b cos beta plus c cos gamma, where cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are the dc's of the line, and this is the plane equation. Alpha, this a, b, c, x1, y1, z1 is nothing but this point. You can apply the shortcut, my dear friends. This is going to be ax1, a, b, c are going to be 1, 3 plus 4 plus 5 minus 2 by 1 into, you can write 1 by 3 plus 1 into 2 by 3 plus 1 into 2 by 3, which is going to be, my dear friends, 10 by, you can say 5 by 3. So which is 6 finally, right. So you can do this problem in two ways. This is anyhow a routine procedure. Try to adapt this formula directly, dear students. Okay. Then second, the solution of the differential equation. And here you can, I think we can align the terms here. You see, sin 2y dy minus x cos y dy is equal to sin y dx plus x dx, right. So you see the options, in almost all the options x square by 2 is there. If you integrate, we will get x square by 2. Here sin y dy, we have no problem to integrate. The problem is with these two terms. So here, my dear friends, what I am going to do is sin 2y dy is equal to, you can observe x cos y dy plus sin y dy will become x sin y's derivative. You can just see. So u derivative of v sin y cos y plus sin y dx, perfect, plus you can write x dx. Now you just integrate. Minus cos 2y by 2 is equal to x sin y plus x square by 2 plus c. Now you can simplify, you can write in terms of sin square y. Cos 2y means 1 minus 2 sin square y, you can substitute, so that you will get first option, my dear friends. Okay. Then the third question, the circumcircle of triangle ABC is given, where this is a parabola. You see, it is given like y square is equal to 1 by k plus 1 into x, like for x, have sides AB, BC, CA as tangents, then the value of k. You see, my dear friends, suppose this is the parabola, these are the tangents. Let me take like Suppose this is A, B, C. This is triangle ABC. Triangle ABC is formed by the tangent. My dear friends, you can write 1 by 8 or 1 by 12. You just subtract one. K can be, you see, minus 7 by 8 possible. Second one minus 11 by 12, that option is not there. So, you can go with first option, my dear students, right. This problem is completely based on a special result, like you see the triangle formed by the tangents of the parabola, its particular triangle circumcircle must pass through the focus of the parabola, right. Next, my dear students, A, B, B two non-singular matrices such that AB is equal to BA square. My dear friends, you can just start this problem. BA square you can say is equal to AB. From this you can say A square is equal to B inverse AB, because B is a non-singular matrix, right. So, from this, my dear friends, you just find A power 4, that means B inverse AB into B inverse AB, but B inverse into B will become I, which is, my dear friends, B inverse A square B. If you replace A square again with B inverse AB, B inverse into B inverse AB into B, you are going to get, my dear friends, A power 4 is equal to B inverse square A B square. Now, you just consider A power 8, repeat the same, my dear friends, you are going to get B inverse cube A B cube. If you again multiply this with A power 8, that is A power 16 is B inverse power 4 A B power 4. If you just take A power 32, B inverse power 5 A B power 5. I can stop here because I know that B power 5 is equal to I. So, this is going to be A, my dear friends. So, if A power 32 is A and A is non-singular, A power 31 must be I. That is the thing. So, you can go with option number 2, my dear friends. Okay. Next, you see Z1, Z2 are complex numbers such that, you see, real part of Z1 is mod Z1 minus 2. Suppose, dear students, you take Z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1, even Z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2. Suppose real part of Z1 is x1 is equal to mod Z1 minus 2 means x1 minus 2 whole square plus y1 square under root. You just square and simplify, my dear friends, you will get x1 square is equal to x1 square minus 4x1 plus 4 plus y1 square, and hence you will get y1 square is equal to 4x1 minus 4. Same, even Z2 also is having the same condition. You will also get like y2 square is equal to 4y2 minus 4. These are the two steps we got. Now, my dear friends, argument of Z1 minus Z2 is pi by 3. Z1 minus Z2's argument is nothing but y1 minus y2 by x1 minus x2 is going to be the angle. Tan of this angle is going to be tan 60 degrees root 3. This is the point. Now, from this, my dear friends, if you could subtract here, you will get, you see, yeah, y1 square minus y2 square is 4 into x1 minus x2. From this you can write y1 minus y2 by x1 minus x2 is 4 by y1 plus y2. So, this is given as root 3. So, 4 by y1 plus y2 is going to be root 3. So, y1 plus y2 is going to be 4 by root 3, my dear friends. That is what he has asked. Imaginary part of Z1 plus Z2 is y1 plus y2 itself. So, I have taken Z1, Z2, applied the condition. This is step 1. Step 2, I have applied this condition. Now, to make use of that, I have just subtracted 1 from 2. We got this condition so that this can be replaced by 4 by y1 plus y2. Okay. Next, the question, the graph of this cubic expression is symmetric about x is equal to k is impossible, friends, because if a is positive, as x tends to infinity, it goes to infinity, as x tends to minus infinity, it goes to minus infinity. If a is negative, it will be like this. Symmetric about a vertical line is impossible if it is cubic. So he said symmetric in the sense x term must be absent. So a is equal to 0. Now y is going to be bx square plus cx plus d. You know a quadratic expression is symmetric about the line x is equal to minus b by 2a, right? This is the thing. So according to the problem, a is 0, x is equal to k. K is nothing but minus c by 2b. This is going to be a plus k, my dear friends. So the answer is minus c by 2b. That's it. Next, you see, it's a parallelogram. Dot product is given. Let me take a parallelogram here, say a, b, c, d. Now he said AB bar length is A, AD bar is B, AC bar this vector length is C. Now DB bar dot AB bar is given. Let me choose this as origin so that this will become A bar vector, this will become B bar vector, this is C bar vector. Okay. Now you see DB bar, my dear friends, is going to be, you see, DB bar, you can say A bar minus B bar. DB bar means OB minus OD. Another is AB bar is nothing but A bar. So you want dot product of these two. So A bar dot A bar is magnitude of A bar square minus B dot A. So friend, this is A square minus AB cos theta, where theta is the angle between A bar and B bar. Whereas the answers are in terms of small abc. So friends, in a parallelogram, if it is theta, this will be pi minus theta. If this is length b, this is also b. Why don't you apply cosine rule here to find ab cos theta? You just apply, friends, c square is equal to, you see, a square plus b square minus 2ab cos pi minus theta will become plus cos theta. So ab cos theta can be replaced from here, my dear friends. A square minus of this AB cos theta, you can write c square minus a square minus b square by 2. So friends, 2a square plus a square, 3a square plus b square minus c square by 2 is the answer. That's it, simple. Next, you see friend, this is another question from complex numbers. This data, you see, you know, you can write mod z2 plus I z1 is equal to mod z1 plus mod I z2. I can also write this statement like this because mod I is 1. So it is like mod z1 plus z2 is equal to mod z1 plus mod z2 in the sense clearly z2 I z1 comma origin are collinear. That means if you take the coordinate axis, this is origin, suppose this is I z1, this is z2, these 3 points are collinear. Generally, my dear friends, suppose they are on the same line, I z1 is formed by multiplying z1 with I, that means 90 degrees. So somewhere z1 must be here, my dear friends, so that this angle is 90 degrees. So very clear that origin, this z1, z2, this is going to be 90 degrees. Mod z1 is given as 3, mod z2 is given as 4. So mod z1 plus z2 is going to be 5 by Pythagoras theorem. That is step 1. Second step, my dear friends, here he has given z3 is equal to z2 minus I z1 by 1 minus I. You just cross multiply and rearrange it as z3. Next, my dear friends, these are the numbers which are in AP. You just multiply here, divide with common difference d. Here you write x2 minus x1 by x1 x2 plus x3 minus x2 by x2 x3. Like that, if you just write here, it is the question. The graph of this cubic expression is symmetric about x is equal to k is impossible, friends, because if a is positive, as x tends to infinity it goes to infinity, as x tends to minus infinity it goes to minus infinity. If a is negative, it will be like this. Symmetric about a vertical line is impossible if it is cubic. So he said symmetric in the sense x term must be absent, so a is equal to 0. Now y is going to be bx square plus cx plus d. You know a quadratic expression is symmetric about the line x is equal to minus b by 2a, right? This is the thing. So according to the problem, a is 0, x is equal to k, k is nothing but minus c by 2b. This is going to be a plus k, my dear friends. So the answer is minus c by 2b. That's it. Next, you see it's a parallelogram, dot product is given. Let me take a parallelogram here, say a, b, c, d. Now he said AB bar length is A, AD bar is B, AC bar this vector length is C. Now DB bar dot AB bar is given. Let me choose this as origin so that this will become A bar vector, this will become B bar vector, this is C bar vector. Okay. Now you see DB bar, my dear friends, is going to be, you see, DB bar, you can say A bar minus B bar. DB bar means OB minus OD. Another is AB bar is nothing but A bar. So you want dot product of these two. So A bar dot A bar is magnitude of A bar square minus B dot A. So friend, this is A square minus AB cos theta, where theta is the angle between A bar and B bar. Whereas the answers are in terms of small abc. So friends, in a parallelogram, if it is theta, this will be pi minus theta. If this is length b, this is also b. Why don't you apply cosine rule here to find ab cos theta? You just apply, friends, c square is equal to, you see, a square plus b square minus 2ab cos pi minus theta will become plus cos theta. So ab cos theta can be replaced from here, my dear friends. A square minus of this AB cos theta, you can write c square minus a square minus b square by 2. So friends, 2a square plus a square, 3a square plus b square minus c square by 2 is the answer. That's it, simple. Next, you see friend, this is another question from complex numbers. This data, you see, you know, you can write mod z2 plus I z1 is equal to mod z1 plus mod I z2. I can also write this statement like this because mod I is 1. So it is like mod z1 plus z2 is equal to mod z1 plus mod z2 in the sense clearly z2 I z1 comma origin are collinear. That means if you take the coordinate axis, this is origin, suppose this is I z1, this is z2, these 3 points are collinear. Generally, my dear friends, suppose they are on the same line, I z1 is formed by multiplying z1 with I, that means 90 degrees. So somewhere z1 must be here, my dear friends, so that this angle is 90 degrees. So very clear that origin, this z1, z2, this is going to be 90 degrees. Mod z1 is given as 3, mod z2 is given as 4. So mod z1 plus z2 is going to be 5 by Pythagoras theorem. That is step 1. Second step, my dear friends, here he has given z3 is equal to z2 minus I z1 by 1 minus I. You just cross multiply and rearrange it as z3 minus z2 by z3 minus z1, you will get like I here. You just rearrange it. So from this, my dear friends, two points here, you can say modulus of this is equal to 1 means mod z3 minus z2 is equal to mod z3 minus z1, that is point number 1. Here argument of this, that means argument of z3 minus z2 by z3 minus z1 is going to be pi by 2. Okay. What does it mean? That means if it is z2 here, z1 here, z3 will be here, such that this angle is 90 degrees. So they form a right angle triangle. Okay. Moreover, he has given mod z1 minus z2 is 5, we already know. From this step, Z3 minus Z2 distance is same as Z3 minus Z1 distance. These two are equal. It is a right angle isosceles triangle, my dear friends. So, this must be 5 by root 2, this also be 5 by root 2. Am I correct? So, area of this triangle he is asking half into base 5 by root 2 into height is also 5 by root 2, which is 25 by 4 is going to be the area of the triangle, dear friends. Okay. Next, the equation of the plane which passes through the point of intersection of these two lines. I think you know, dear friends, how to find the intersection of two lines. You take the general point here like 3t plus 1, t plus 2, 2t plus 3, and here general point is going to be lambda plus 3, 2 lambda plus 1, 3 lambda plus 2. You equate them, there exists unique lambda and mu such that these two are equal. You will get, for those values you will get it as 4, 3, 5. Okay. So, friends, there is a plane passing through this point and at a greatest distance from origin. What does it mean? You see, friends, suppose origin is here 0, 0, 0, there is a point 4, 3, 5. Through this point many planes will pass. So, at a greatest distance means there must be a plane where this is going to be perpendicular to this. Okay. So, that means the normal to this plane is going to be, normal DRs are 4, 3, 5. So, the plane equation you can take 4x plus 3y plus 5z is equal to, now this must pass through the point 4, 3, 5, substitute, you will get 50. That is it. So, find the point, and the plane which is at the shortest distance means the plane that is perpendicular to the line joining of OA. That is it. Okay. Next, given a matrix, some extra data is given, A into adjoint A. Array, it is standard formula, A into adjoint A is det A into I. You need det A. See, all are in the form of some number into I. How to find det A? You just expand det A. If you could use these two data, you will get det A value is 29. You will get 29I. This is the answer. Okay. Next, you see this question, friends, f is strictly decreasing from f of 2a square plus a plus 1 less than f of 3a square minus 4a plus 1. Then the range of this expression. You see, friends, function's domain is 0 to infinity. The input of this function 2a square plus a plus 1 must be positive, 3a square minus 4a plus 1 must be positive, and since it is decreasing function, this is 2a square plus a plus 1 must be greater than 3a square minus 4a plus 1. You have to take the common solution of these three to get the value of a. This is always correct because delta less than 0, x square quotient positive means here it is always correct, no need to worry about it. From this you can say this is going to be a minus 1 into 3a minus 1 greater than 0. So, a must be less than 1 by 3 and greater than 1. You will get like this, yeah, this is the one. Whereas, if you apply this condition, you are going to get the answer to be 0 to 5, 0 here, 5 here, it satisfies this condition. So, the common solution of all is going to be 0 to 3, 1 to 5. This is going to be your answer, 0 to 1 by 3, 1 to 5, that is it. Next, a hyperbola touches y-axis and has its center at one of the foci, okay, and you see the center is 5 by 2 comma 20, one of the foci say S is 10 comma 24. Can you find the other focus, friends? Center is the midpoint, right? Center, this is S, S dash, C will be. So, you can double and subtract, 5 minus 10 is minus 5, 40 minus 24 is 16, this is S dash. Moreover, my dear friends, the distance between S and S dash is going to be 2AE. 2AE is root of 15 square plus 8 square, 8, 15, 17, right? It is 17. So, AE is 17 by 2, dear friends. But what I want is the length of its transverse axis. Transverse axis is nothing but 2A. So, what extra data is given? He said y axis is the tangent. There is a result, my dear friends. It may be ellipse or hyperbola. You see, suppose you are given any tangent, suppose S and S dash are the two foci, the product of perpendicular distances drawn from two foci onto it is going to be b square, that is semi conjugate axis square. So, S to y axis perpendicular distance is mod x1, right, which is 5, and this to this is 10. So, this is P1 into P2 is, you can say is b square, yes, b square is equal to 50, square is equal to 289 by 4. You know that b square is equal to a square into e square minus 1, from which you will get a square value. So, a square is going to be, you can say a square e square 289 by 4 minus b square is going to be 50, which is 89 by 4, my dear friends. A is root 89 by 2, 2a is root 89, that is all. Okay. So, 2 points, friends. You can, distance between the two foci is 2ae. Second thing, yeah, the product of perpendicular distances from the two foci onto any tangent on the hyperbola or even ellipse also, it is going to be b square, semi conjugate axis square, their semi minor axis square in case of ellipse. That is it. Next, this relation is reflexive, symmetric, transitive. Since 1, 2, 3, 4 are there, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 are there, it is reflexive. And symmetric fails, 1, 2 is there, but 2, 1 is not there. So, this option is wrong, this option is wrong, this option is wrong, second option is correct. That is it. It fails to be symmetric. Next, you see, normal equation is a normal question. Right? This is the curve given, 2y y dash is equal to 3x square, y dash is equal to 3 by 2 x square by y. At the point t square comma t cube, 3 by 2 into t power 4 by y is going to be t cube 3 by 2 into t. This is going to be the tangent slope. So, normal slope is going to be minus 2 by 3t. Now, you can find the tangent normal equation, y minus y1 is equal to, or else since it is the slope, you can write, you can say 2x plus 3ty is fine, 2x plus 3ty. So, this is not the answer, this is not the answer, this is the answer. Now, substitute t square comma t cube, 2t square plus this is t cube means 3t power 4, that is all. T square into 2 plus 3t square is the answer, that is it. Next, this integral, my dear friends, integral 0 to 1, you can write, of course, tan inverse of, you can say 1 plus x into 1 minus x, you can write x minus of 1 minus x dx. So, integral 0 to 1 tan inverse x minus tan inverse 1 minus x dx. So, my dear friends, in fact both are the same. If this is I, you just apply basic property, you will get integral 0 to 1 tan inverse 1 minus x minus tan inverse x dx. Both are the same with minus of minus I. 2i is equal to 0, so I must be 0, my dear friends. Okay. Next, the smallest area bounded between these two. You see, y square is equal to 4x is one parabola. This is a circle with center 4 comma 0 and radius is also 4. It represents a circle like this, and y square is equal to 4x is another parabola, and you can see where it cuts. You replace y square is equal to 4x, you will get x value 0 to 4. This parabola also cuts this at 4 itself. The area bounded between these two is this area, that too he said y greater than or equal to 0, you do not take the down one. Okay. So, here what you can do is, in fact I need to find integral 0 to 4 upper curve minus lower curve. Upper curve circle to write here in terms of y x square minus or 8x minus x square under root is lengthy one. You can find this area as a sector, which is 1/4 of area of the circle pi r square minus, you can find this area here with this, that is integral 0 to 4 y is nothing but root of 4x, am I correct, dx. Yes, you just find it, this is the area what you need to know. This is 4 pi minus, you will get 2 into root x, this is simple integral, you just do this integration, you will get the answer, right. Next, dear friends, each of the roots of this equation is greater than 1, location of roots problem. For this, since x square quotient is positive, it is upper parabola, both the roots must be greater than 1. Here the condition that are to be applied is, condition 1 is delta must be greater than or equal to 0, that is b square minus 4ac, a square plus a minus 8 must be greater than or equal to 0, one condition. The second is going to be, I can say 1 f of 1, x square quotient already positive, so f of 1 must be positive. F of 1 means put x is equal to 1, 1 minus a minus 1 plus a square plus a minus 8 must be greater than 0. Second inequation, the third one is 1 must be left side, that means 1 less than minus b by 2a, minus b is a plus 1 by 2a is 2. So, this is the third condition. You just take the common solution of these two, you will get the solution, that is it. Next friends, the mean deviation of these items x, x plus y, x plus 2y and so on, x plus 2ny. From this mean deviation, y is positive. Array, from each item if I subtract x, mean deviation will not change. So, answer would be same for 0, y, 2y and so on 2ny. You just take y common friends, y into, you will get 0, 1, 2 and so on 2n. If we just add 1 to each entry, there is no difference in mean deviation. So, y into, you can write 1, 2, 3 and so on 2n plus 1. I think you know, my dear friends, what is the mean deviation of first n natural numbers. You must remember this shortcut, my dear friends. For first n natural numbers, n square minus 1 by 4n. So, here n is going to be 2n plus 1. So, y into 2n plus 1 whole square minus 1 by 4n, 4 times 2n plus 1. This is the shortcut friends, which is y into a plus b is 2n plus 2 into a minus b is 2n by 4 into 2n plus 1. So, 2 gets cancelled, another 2 can be cancelled, n plus 1 into n by 2n plus 1 is the answer. Y into n plus 1 by 2n plus 1. We can do this problem in this way, dear students. Next, you see a is sin theta is tan theta is the first set. That means sin theta is equal to sin theta by cos theta. So, I can say either sin theta is equal to 0 or cos theta is equal to 1. Generally, whenever sin theta is 0, cos theta can be 1 or minus 1. Those solutions also include in that. So, set A contains like 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, all the multiples of pi it contains. Whereas B secant theta 1 means cos theta is 0, cos theta 1. Cos theta 1 means it will be at 0, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi like this. Only even multiples of 2 pi it comes. So, my dear friends, A is which of then A is equal to B is wrong. B subset of A clearly not subset of A is wrong. A subset of B is also wrong. A not subset of B is correct. Okay, that's all. Next, you see this is a polynomial, binomial expansion kind of. You see alternate terms with plus minus, better you put x is equal to I, my dear friends. You will get 1 plus I square plus I cube whole power 10 is equal to, you will get a naught plus a1 I plus a2 I square plus a3 I cube plus a4 I power 4 plus and so on you are going to get. You see, my dear friends, I square is minus 1, I cube is minus a, this is 0 is equal to, you can write here real part A0 minus A2 plus A4 minus A6 like this, plus I into imaginary A1 minus A3 plus A5 minus A7 and so on you will get. So, real part must be 0, imaginary part must be 0. So, second option is correct. Even here my dear friends, first this is also correct, this must be 0, but A0 is the constant term in this, which is 1. So, 1 minus A2 and all means 1 you put one side, other terms you send that side. So, this statement is also correct. So, both 1 and 2 is the right answer my dear friends. Okay. Next, yeah, if A is a real constant, here A, B, C are variable angles. You see this kind of question, you see we can say Cauchy-Squarze inequality, or I can say, you see, tan A, tan B, tan C is involved here. I want its magnitude. You take one of the vectors like root of A square minus 4 I cap plus A j cap plus root of A square plus 4 into k cap, one vector. So, second vector you take like tan A I cap plus tan B j cap plus tan C k cap, right. We know my dear friends, A bar dot B bar is always less than or equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B, because A dot B is nothing but A B cos theta. So, you just apply this. Dot product of these two is nothing but the given expression LHS, which is 6A less than or equal to magnitude of A, means root of A square minus 4 plus A square plus 4, you see, which is 2A square plus A square, 3A square, into magnitude of B is root of tan square A plus tan square B plus tan square C. So, you can just my dear friends root 3 into A can be cancelled, this is 2 root 3 less than or equal to root of required expression. Square on both sides, required expression is greater than or equal to 12. So, its least value is going to be 12 my dear friends. So, Cauchy-Squarze inequality helps in finding the optimum value of the given expression. Okay. Next my dear friends, you see this functions graph roughly y, you see when x is equal to 0 this is 0, x is equal to 1 it is 0, between 0 to 1 this expression is positive, more than 1, above 1 if you take this is going to be negative, right. It will be like this, the area between this curve and x axis, this one we want, which is going to be my dear friends integral 0 to 1, you can say x power 6 into 1 minus x whole power 7 dx is the area. Arey for this to evaluate such integrals, why don't you give x is equal to sine square theta substitution, so that we can apply Wallis formula 0 to pi by 2 sine power 12 theta, then this is 1 minus sine square theta cos square theta cos power 14 theta dx is 2 sin theta cos theta d theta. So, that it is going to be dear friends integral 0 to pi by 2 can be written outside sin power 13 theta into cos power 15 theta d theta. So, now you can apply my dear friend, this is going to be sin power 13 means 12 into 10 into 8 into and so on, you can write up to 2. Next here 15 means 14 into 12 into 10 into up to 2 by sum of these two is 28, you can write 28 into 26 into 24 into and so on up to 2, which is my dear friends 2 power 6 into 6 factorial, 2 power 7 into 7 factorial by 2 power 14 into you can say 14 factorial. So, this is 2 power 13, 2 will be left here, these two and these two got cancelled, this is going to be 6 factorial into 7 factorial by 14 factorial you will get. Now my dear friends, A inverse is going to be 14 factorial by 7 factorial into 6 factorial, you just simplify, you will get some 2 power, some number into 3 into 7 into 11 into 13 you will get. The number of prime factors is going to be 5 for this number dear friends, that is it. Next, this is an ellipse with vertices A and A dash, this is very clear, this is an ellipse vertex it is going to be 3 comma 0 and A dash is going to be minus 3 comma 0. Okay. Tangent drawn at some point P means you can take A cos theta means 3 cos theta 2 sin theta. You can just find the tangent equation S1 is equal to 0, that is Ax by x1, x cos theta by 3 plus y sin theta by 2 is equal to 1 is the tangent equation. You can find where this tangent meets y axis at Q. So, this is going to be put x coordinate 0, y coordinate is going to be 2 cosecant theta. Right now, a chord joining, this is point P, A dash and P. Arey yaar, you know P point, A dash point, you just find, and suppose this is, you can say 0 comma k, you just apply collinearity condition, you will get this point, it is called M. You just find M. Now he is asking, this is origin O, OQ square minus MQ square. This is going to be Q, right? OQ square minus MQ square, you can just find, you will get the answer for this, dear students, right? Simple calculation based, you will get the answer to be 4. Next, you see this is not differentiable yet. You can write this is x minus 1 into x plus 1 into mod x minus 1 into mod x minus 5 plus cos x. Cos mod x makes no difference because cos of minus x is cos x itself. It has differentiability problem at 1 and 5, but this x minus 1 supports mod x minus 1, so that it will be differentiable. So, it will have differentiability problem at only x is equal to 5, that is it. Next, you see this is the standard question, dear friends, important even, Newton's formula, kind of formula it is. You see alpha is a root, so alpha square plus 10 alpha minus 7 equal to 0. You want A12 means alpha power 12 multiply with alpha power 10, alpha power 12 plus 10 alpha power 11 minus 7 alpha power 10 is equal to 0. In the same way you want beta also, you will get beta power 12 plus 10 beta power 11 minus 7 beta power 10 equal to 0. You just add, my dear friends, this is called A12, this is called A11, this is called A10 equal to 0. From this, my dear friends, A12 minus 7 A10 is equal to minus 10 A11. If you write 2 A11, you will get, it is 5. That is it. You just take this term this side and bring that, so that you will get 5. That is it. Next, my dear friends, these are the numbers which are in AP. You just multiply here, divide with common difference D. Here you write x2 minus x1 by x1 x2 plus x3 minus x2 by x2 x3. Like that, if you just write here, it is also 10, my dear friends. So, which you can write 1 by D into, if you could separate 1 by x1 minus 1 by x2 plus 1 by x2 minus 1 by x3 plus and so on, 1 by x4000 minus 1 by x4001 is equal to 10. These two cancel, these two cancel, these two cancel. You will get 1 by D into, dear friends, x4001 minus x1 by x1 into x4001 is going to be 10. Dear friends, in fact we want this itself, but we won't get here directly, but 4001 nothing but first term plus 4000 D it is. So, 1 by D into 4000 D by x1 x4001 is going to be 10. D got cancelled. From this x1 x4001 value you will get as 400. So, if in AP x2 x1 plus x4001 is same as x2 plus x4000. So, x1 plus x4001 is going to be, I can say the sum is going to be 50, my dear friends. So, these are two numbers, their sum is 50, their product is 400. Can I say 1040? Yes, 1040. Maybe the difference he is asking, you can find 30, right? That is all. Next, You see, another problem, f of x is given and x1, x2, x3, x5 are roots of f of x. G of x is some function. I want g of x1, g of x2, g of x3. x1 is not known, that is the problem, but we can't find the roots even. But x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, this value you can say product of the roots of this is going to be minus 1. This is already minus 1, right. Now here how to find this? For this what I do is let g of x be y, so x square minus 2 is equal to y, x is going to be y plus 2 under root. You just find, my dear friends, f of root y plus 2, which is root y plus 2 whole power 5 plus y plus 2 plus 1, right. So if I can say f of root y plus 2, yes. So after expanding this, you can observe here, my dear friends, it is going to be, I need to write here, this is x square minus 2 is equal to y, y plus 2 under root is x. So this x, so f of root y plus 2 you put, this is y plus 2 root y plus 2 whole power 5 plus y plus 2 plus 1. You need to simplify this. From these, you see whatever roots you are going to get, you take x1, you put x1 here, x1 plus 2 under root is going to be, you see here, I am putting x1 here, x1 g of x1 I want to put. So g of its roots are g of x1. How can you say? You see g of x1 plus 2, g of x1 plus 2 under root will give x1, so which is f of x1, right. So from this, after expanding this, you will get the roots of this product of the root. That means you need to prepare an equation whose roots are g of x1, g of x2, g of x3, g of x4, or you can find, so f of x square minus 2 can we find, so that if you put x1, so yeah, you will get x square minus 2 kind of, yes you will get, I think f of x square minus 2 is x square minus 2 whole power 5 plus x square minus 2 whole square plus 1 you will get. This is, I can say, minus 32 plus 4, yeah, minus 27, yes. Its roots are going to be g of x1, g of x2, its product of the roots is going to be minus 21. You can see minus 32 plus 4 plus 1, that is plus 5 minus 27. So this value is minus 27, minus 30 into g of minus 1 is 1 minus 2 is minus 1 plus 30, you are going to get the answer now. Okay. Next, dear students, A, B, C are three mutually exclusive events, then what could be the possible values of A and B? Are each probability must be 0 to 1, this one, this one, this one, three simple inequations, and P of A union B union C means P of A plus P of B plus P of C, the rest of all will become 0, A intersection B, B intersection C, C intersection A, A intersection B intersection C. So this is P of A union B union C, you just apply, this will also be between 0 to 1, 0 to 1. That means sum of these three should also be between 0 to 1, so which gives the range of A and B. You will get A value to be 1 by 3, B value to be 1 by 2, right. So that means x lies between 1 by 3 and 1 by 2, so the answer becomes 0 here. Okay. Next, dear friends, you see here Sn denote the sum of the terms in nth bracket. Interestingly, this is 1 cube, this is 2 cube, this is 3 cube, this is 4 cube. So S11 will be 11 cube, S9 will be 9 cube. 11 cube is 1331, 9 cube is 729. Okay, that's it. You will get the answer 602. And the last question, the number of 4-digit natural numbers such that the sum of digits of each number is equal to 9. Array, you can take like A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 9. But of course, where A, B, C, D can be 0 to 9, so why don't we take like sum of all, I mean number of non-negative integral solutions of this. But my dear friends, A should not be 0, so A must be greater than or equal to 1. So put one ball in this, all. So let me call it as A plus b plus c plus d is equal to 8, because I have already given one ball in this. Now each entry can be 0 to n, any. So number of non-negative integral solutions, n balls are to be distributed into 4 boxes, n plus r minus 1 cr minus 1, that is 11 c3 is going to be the answer, my dear friends. Okay, so with this paper discussion completes. Keep practicing. Stay tuned to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. You can find wonderful discussions, right dear students? Please all of you subscribe to Infinity Learn YouTube channel, Infinity Learn JEE and Infinity Learn NEET even, okay? And at the same time we are having Infinity Learn Festival. So most of the courses now you are going to get at very low price. So suggest your friends and your brothers, sisters, siblings, everyone. We have courses for JEE, NEET, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, CBSE classes even, right? All the best dear students.
The first option actually matches to this. Okay, so the correct answer will be the option number 1. Going to the next question. The next question is, Bredig-Arg method cannot be used for preparation of colloidal solutions. So Bredig-Arg method is only applicable for less reactive metals. It is not applicable for the more reactive metals. Okay, so copper can be used, gold can be used, silver can be used, but sodium can't be used. Okay, so the correct answer will be the option number 4. Going to the next question. Identify the product in the following reaction. So you have to identify the product in the following reaction. Okay, the first step is that concentrated NaOH is poured on this species. So what will happen here? If the concentrated HNO3 is poured on this, the Cannizzaro reaction will take place. Okay, and on the Cannizzaro, one of the CHO will get oxidized, other will be getting reduced. Okay, so here it will look something like this: COOH. I am just drawing it for the sake of clearance only, and the next step will be something like this. Here CH2. Reaction will take place. Okay, and on the Cannizzaro, the first option actually matches to this. Okay, so the correct answer will be the option number 1. Going to the next question. The next question is, Bredig-Arg method cannot be used for preparation of colloidal solutions. So Bredig-Arg method is only applicable for less reactive metals. It is not applicable for the more reactive metals. Okay, so copper can be used, gold can be used, silver can be used, but sodium can't be used. Okay, so the correct answer will be the option number 4. Going to the next question. Identify the product in the following reaction. So you have to identify the product in the following reaction. There are 2-step reaction. Okay, the first step is that concentrated NaOH is poured on this species. So what will happen here? If the concentrated HNO3 is poured on this, the Cannizzaro reaction will take place. Okay, and on the Cannizzaro, one of the CHO will get oxidized, other will be getting reduced. Okay, so here it will look something like this: COOH. I am just drawing it for the sake of clearance only, and the next step will be something like this. Here CH2OH. Okay, on the next step, H plus and delta minus, delta is present there. Okay, so a reaction will take place and it will remove the water. Elimination of water will take place, and once the elimination of water will take place from here, okay, it will create basically, so H plus, and dehydration of water is taking place there on hitting the basically groups. So here it will be creating something like this: C double bond O and then O and then basically CH2. Which reaction is this? The second one. Can you call the name of this reaction? It's the intramolecular esterification actually. Okay, so there is a acid group, there is a alcohol group, and within these two groups the intramolecular esterification is taking place. Okay, so this will be your final product, and so the option that matches with this is the option number 4. Going to the next, the molecule with zero dipole moment. Okay, so let's draw each molecule. The first molecule is the ClF3. So if you draw this molecule, it will look something like this. Cl has basically two lone pair and 3 bond pair. Okay, so 2 lone pair and 3 bond pair. So this structure will look something like this. Okay, there will be a lone pair here, there will be a lone pair here, and there will be 3 fluorine bonds dead with the ClF3. Okay, this is not going to cancel out the vectors. These two vectors will be cancel out each other, but this vector will not be cancelled out, and all the molecules which do not contain basically regular geometries, they contain the distorted geometry due to lone pair, they have always the dipole moment. So this do not have the dipole moment equals to 0, it's not equal to 0, okay. So this can't be our answer. Going for the second option, BRF5, similar story is there. If you draw the structure, it has one lone pair, and due to presence of this lone pair, it will be basically what we call it, polar molecule. Okay, going for the next is the IF7. If you go for the IF7 structure, it will look something like this. I is there, okay, I is there, and then the 7 bonds are there, okay. No lone pair, and all of them are basically placed in a regular geometry. And if the geometry is regular, we know that for all the regular geometries, basically mu is always equals to 0. The dipole moment is 0. So the correct answer will be the option number 3. Similarly for CLF, there is no what we call it basically regular geometry. It has the distorted geometry due to presence of 3 lone pairs. So one lone pair is there, another lone pair is there, another lone pair is there. So due to this lone pair and CLF bond, it will be polar. Okay, moving to the next question. Which of the following is the most acidic? Okay, so let's find out. Basically, remember, whenever you are comparing something now, always compare the differences, never compare the common part. So the common part is that all of them contains one acid group. Okay, so this is the common part. Now, what are the uncommon part or which is different in all? Basically this attached group. Okay, this attached group. So our answer has to be come from here only, and we know that acidic strength, whenever you are comparing the acidic strength of any species, remember that the acidic strength is always increased by basically what we call it, sorry, minus m. Okay, it is always there basically minus m. Okay, so acidic strength is always increased by the presence of minus m group. Okay, so more the minus m groups, more will be the acidic strength. Similarly, it is also directly proportional to minus I. Okay, because the anion is formed as a conjugate and that are stabilized by electron withdrawing effects. Okay, so here it is applying minus m. Here it is applying minus m, minus I only, not minus m, because there is one sp3 carbon. So mesomeric will not be there, only the inductive effect will be there. This is applying plus I. This has no effect. Okay, this has no effect. The hydrogen do not have any effect. So if you observe here, there are only what we call it, only one such molecule where minus m is applicable, and if minus m is applicable, then the acidic strength of that molecule will be maximum, and that is option number 1. Okay, going for the next, the molar elevation constant. So Kf is given to you. So molar elevation constant of water is given to you as basically 0.52 Kelvin. Okay, kg per mole. The boiling point of 1 mole, so molality is also known to us, that is 1. Assume of aqueous KCl solution, assuming complete dissociation. Okay, so what will happen here if the KCl dissociate? Okay, if the KCl, we can't use it here. Okay, so KCl, don't consider it. Okay, so KCl basically breaks down to give you K plus and the Cl minus. Okay, so want of factor or the I will be 2 because of the presence of 2 ions there in the solution. Okay, now you have to find out the boiling point. Okay, so formula you can use this as a Kb. This is not for a freezing, it's for a boiling point. Okay, molar elevation constant is given, not the depression constant. Okay, so how to solve this as the next step? The delta Tb will be equal to I dot Kb dot m. Okay, so I is 2, Kb is given in the question 0.52, and molality is basically 1. Okay, so the value comes out to be, delta Tb comes out to be basically 1.04. Okay, and we can write down delta Tb as Tb dash minus Tb, and normal boiling point is 100. Okay, so the Tb dash will come out to be 100 plus 1.04, which is the option number 3. Okay, so this is the correct solution. Going to the next, which of the following can undergo Hofmann reaction most easily? So remember that this is one of the thing, if you look into the mechanism of Hofmann bromide degradation, you will find the rate is directly proportional to migration group tendency. It is directly proportional to basically migration group tendency. Easier the migration, easier will be what? Rate. Okay. And migration group tendency is directly proportional to activating group. More the activated ring or higher the electron density ring, higher electron density ring basically undergoes what? It goes under the higher rate. Okay, so let's compare them. Here there is a halogen which applies minus I effect. There is a CS3 which applies plus I. There is a CN minus which applies minus M actually. There is a OCS3 which applies plus M. So the highly activated ring among all four of them is the option number 4. Here in the option number 4, the ring is highly activated. Why it is highly activated? It is highly activated due to presence of an activating group, that is plus M effect. Okay, that's why the rate will be maximum in the case option number 4. Going for the next, at low pressure, van der Waals equation is reduced to this. Okay, so the van der Waals equation is this for a mole of a gas. So for 1 mole of a gas, then compressibility factor can be given by, so we have to find the Z. The compressibility factor is nothing but the Z. Okay, so let's solve this equation. This is a very simple question. So the equation is P plus A by V square into V is equals to RT. Okay, let's expand it. Okay, so if you expand it, it will become PV plus A by V is equals to RT. Okay, now if you divide the whole equation by RT, okay, so it will become PV by RT plus A by VRT is equals to 1. Okay, now this is just the Z. The Z is nothing but PV by RT. Z is nothing but PV by RT. So this is the Z, and you can calculate it from here. The Z is equals to 1 minus A upon VRT. So this will be your final answer, okay, which matches to the option number 1. Going to the next question. Okay, going to the next question. The species having diamagnetic nature. So remember, if we are talking about diamagnetic, it should not be odd electron species. If it contains odd number of electron, then it will be paramagnetic. Okay, so remember this, that if the species is odd electron, then it will be what? It will be paramagnetic. Okay, then it will be basically paramagnetic. Okay, that's why we have to check first that species do not contain any odd electron, odd number of electrons. Okay, so talking about diamagnetic, and the bond order is 1. Okay, so now let's find out for this. This is O2 plus. Okay, O2 plus has basically 15 electron, which is odd electron. Okay, O2 has 16, you have removed 1 electron, so how many electrons are left? 15. Next is the O2, that is a 16 electron, and it's paramagnetic. All of us know that. This has the nature of this oxygen as paramagnetic has given a new theory that is called molecular order. All of us know that actually. Okay, the next is the O2 minus, and O2 minus has basically 17 electrons, so it's an odd electron, so this can't be our answer. So the only option that is left is the option number 4, where O2 minus has basically, if you look into the O2 minus structure, it is something O minus bond O minus. Okay, similar to fluorine, because fluorine, as similar to fluorine, it has also 18 electrons and has a bond order of 1. Okay, this is the simple method to solve it. The other method is that you can go by the MO diagram. Okay, so you can draw the molecular orbital diagram of it and you can solve for it. Okay, so it will look something like this. The lowest orbital is present there. Okay, that is basically sigma 1s. Okay, then basically sigma 1s star will be there, then there will be sigma 2s, then there will be sigma 2s star will be there. Okay, and as this species is having number of electron greater than 14, the order will change here. Okay, the order will change, and the order will be something like this. The here there will be sigma 2p, and here there will be what we call it pi 2p, and here also it will be having pi 2p. Okay, and then there will be what we call it pi star 2p, okay, and here it will be having pi star 2p, okay. Now fulfill the electron, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, okay, 17, 18. So there are 18 electrons, and bonding orbital 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10 of the electrons are in bonding, okay. So if you found out the bond order here, it will be half of bonding electron, that is 10, minus 8, that is the non-bonding electron, which is equals to 1. So you can solve this question by both the methods. There is no issue with any of them, okay. Both of them are correct. Moving to the next question. Which one of the following has a maximum heat of hydrogenation? So remember, the heat of hydrogenation, that is HOH, we call it as a HOH, is directly proportional to 1 upon stability of alkene. Okay, so lesser the stability of alkene, more will be the HOH, more will be the HON. So we have to choose the least stable alkene. Okay, so it has no alpha hydrogen. Okay, it has basically 3 alpha hydrogen, this 3. It has basically this 3, and 2 of them are here, 2 of them are here. So 10 alpha hydrogens are present in this. Okay, and going for this species 3 and 2, 5 of alpha hydrogens are there. So the least stable is the option number 1. Okay, that's why the correct answer is option number 1. Going for the next, this question is quite mathematical question or calculative part of this. So Kc for this is given in the question as 10. If the container has 1, 2, 3, 4 mole per liter of A, B, C, D respectively at 25 degrees Celsius, the reaction will proceed. So whenever you have to predict the direction of the reaction, we basically try to find out the reaction quotient, because looking into the value of reaction quotient, we can easily tell whether the reaction will move into the forward direction or into the backward direction. Okay, so if I try to find out the Q, it will be basically concentration of C into concentration of D upon the concentration of A into concentration of the B. Okay, so just keep the value. The values are given to you. It will be 3 into 4 upon 2 into 1, and the value comes out to be 6. So if you look here, then you will easily say that QC is less than Kc. And if the QC is less than Kc, the reaction will move into the forward direction to achieve the equilibrium. Okay, so it will move like this from left to right. Okay, so the correct answer will be the option number 1. Going for the next question. The next question is basically there is E naught for 2 of the reactions are given to you, and I will write it here for you. E naught for Fe2 plus 2 Fe, and then E naught for Fe3 plus 2 Fe2 plus is given to you. Okay, so these values are given to you, and the value for this is given as minus 0.441 volt, and value for this is given as 0.771 volt. Okay, now there is another reaction going on here. Okay, where basically 2 reactions are parallelly taking place. Fe is converting into Fe2 plus, and the next reaction is that 2 of Fe3 plus is getting converted into basically Fe2, 2 times of Fe2 plus. Okay, so there are 2 reactions going on, and the net reaction is summation of both of them. Now we have to find out the E naught for this reaction. So we know that we can calculate E naught for any reaction. Okay, we can calculate E naught for any reaction or cell. How can we calculate that? That is the cathode minus anode. Okay, or basically the reaction which is going on, add them. Okay, E naught. So the E naught for this reaction, the E naught for this reaction, that is E naught of Fe2 plus will be given as, just invert this because it is given for Fe2 plus to Fe and we want for Fe2 plus. Okay, so just invert it and it will become 441 volt. Okay, and the next is E naught for Fe3 plus to Fe2 plus, which is given in the question itself as 0.771. Okay, so just add them and you will get your answer. So E naught of the reaction will be equal to, because on adding the reaction you are getting this, so it will be equal to 0.441 plus 0.771. Okay, so this will be your final answer. It looked to me like 7, 4, so 11 and 12. So this will be your answer, okay? This will be your final answer for this question. Now going to the integer type questions, okay? Here most of the integer type questions which are asked in this paper actually have very informative or a factual data based part, okay, where facts are involved more than the concepts, okay. So please look into them carefully. There are few questions where the concept is also involved, but there are few questions where only facts are involved. So please listen to me carefully. Remember, try to remember all the factual informations with you so that you can score higher in the next JEE Mains, okay. So here Allerga, a common prescription drug which with the structure shown below is given for the treatment of seasonal allergies, okay. How many stereogenic carbons does Allerga have? So this is not the stereogenic because it has 2 CH3 groups, okay. This also has similar groups, so this is also not a stereogenic. Only stereogenic carbon is this. Only stereogenic carbon is this, okay. So the answer is 1, okay. So the correct answer is 1. Moving to the next question. How many following reactions, not balanced equations, undergoes disproportionation reactions, okay. So let's check them through the product. So there is a cold and dilute NaOH. So it will be producing you basically NaCl plus NaOCl, okay. So here chlorine has oxidized from 0 to -1, sorry, reduced to and oxidized to +1, okay. So this is the disproportionation, no doubt in that. Next is NaOH plus P4, okay. So if this reaction goes, the product is PH3, along with this the NaH2PO2, okay. So there is a product where phosphorus is present in +1 and here the phosphorus is present in -3. Here also it is getting oxidized from 0 to -3 and +1. So this is also a disproportionation reaction. Next is the NO2 with hot H2O. Hydrolysis is taking place. So the formed product will be HNO3 plus NO. You have to remember all these products, okay. I will give you another trick at the last of this question, but these are the product which you need to remember, okay. So here also nitrogen is present in +4 oxidation state. Here nitrogen is moving into +5 as well as +2. So oxidation and reduction both are taking place. So this is also disproportionation reaction. Next is HClO2 auto oxidation, okay. So if the auto oxidation is taking place, it will form HOCl along with what we call it HClO3, okay. So this is also undergoing the disproportionation because here the chlorine is present in +3 oxidation state and going into +1 as well as +5, okay. So this is also the disproportionation reaction. Fluorine can't undergo hydrolysis actually, disproportionation. Why? If it gives a product like NaF and along with that OF2, in both of them fluorine is present in -1 only. So this is not the disproportionation. This is not the disproportionation. Okay, next is S3PO4, PO3. So here it will create pH, on heating it create pH3 along with the S3PO4, okay. So here this product is formed and it look like it has +3 oxidation state, here it is -3 and here it is +5. So this is the disproportionation, no doubt in that. The next one is that NaOH react with ClO2, okay. So it will basically create NaClO3 along with basically NaClO, okay. So this is in this reaction, okay. So it's basically here if you look, it's present in +4 oxidation state. Here it is basically present in +5 oxidation state. Here it is present in basically +2 oxidation. So this is also disproportionation reaction. HNO2 undergoes auto oxidation. It basically produces HNO3 along with NO2. NO, okay. So here also it is present in +3 oxidation state, it is in +5 oxidation state and +2. So oxidation and reduction both are taking place. So this is also the what we call it disproportionation. So 7 of the reactions are undergoing what? The disproportionation reaction. Now the trick which I have told you, I will give you that, okay. So any non-metal, remember that. When any non-metal, that can be sulfur, that can be chlorine or any halogen other than fluorine, okay, any non-metal, if it react with basically what we call it NaOH or any strong base, okay, if it react with any strong base, then it always gives you the disproportionation reaction. Then it always gives you what? It gives you the disproportionation reaction. Okay, so it always gives you the disproportionation reaction. Okay, so this is what happens. The non-metal, whenever react with a strong base, it undergoes the disproportionation reaction. Remember this trick, it will be very useful for you to score higher in examinations. Okay, moving to the next question. How many of the following statements are correct? So you have to choose how many of the following are correct. So Cu(I4) 2 minus does not exist. Yes, it does not exist. Why? Because Cu2 plus is basically highly susceptible for reducing. Why? Because I minus is a strong reducing agent, and due to presence of strong reducing agent, it do not exist as I minus with the copper. Okay, and that's why it is the true statement, no doubt in that. Next is LiHCO3 in solid state does not exist. Yes, it does not exist as an ionic compound because of the highly electropositive nature of Li plus. Due to a small size, okay, so it has basically a small size, and due to this small size, it has basically high covalent character in its compound. That's why it do not exist as solid state in LiHCO3. Okay, so this is also true, no doubt in that. Okay. Next is ClO2 is paramagnetic in vapor state. Yes, it's true. In this, the structure something look like this. In vapor state, its structure is something like this, and they are not dimerized. Okay, and due to presence of this odd electron, and they are also not dimerized, and they have a presence of odd electron, and that's why basically they are paramagnetic in nature. This statement is also true. Next is BCl3 and AlCl3 are dimer in vapor state. False. BCl3 only dimerizes in solid state. It do not dimerize in vapor state. Why? Because of the large size of the chlorine. So what happened that here the chlorine, here the chlorine, if you want to dimerize it, it will look something like this. Okay. So this chlorine and this chlorines are huge size. Okay. So there is a repulsion, and due to this repulsion, these molecules break. Okay, so it do not exist. This do not exist actually. Okay, so remember this is a false statement. Next is in solid state PCl5 exists as this. Yes, but PBr5 exists as this. Yes, because for the similar reason, remember that for the similar reason the PBr6 is not possible because of the large size of the bromine. Okay, so what happened that in this species, this bromine and bromines have huge repulsion. Okay, they have basically huge repulsion, and due to this huge repulsion, the molecule have a tendency to break down. The molecule has a tendency to break down. Okay, so this do not exist in basically what we call it. That's why it is exists at PBr4 minus plus and Br minus. Okay, in solid state BH2 exists as polymer. Yes, this is completely true. It exists something like this. BH, here there is another H, then basically B, H, and then H. It exists as a polymeric chain. Okay, it exists as a polymeric chain where these two bonds electrons are donated here, these two bonds electrons are donated here, and similarly these two bond electrons are donated here, and this forms a whole a polymer chain. Okay, so this is also true, no doubt in that. Okay, so 1 is true, 2 is 3 is true, 4th is false, 5th is true, 6th is true. Next is silicate ion SiO4 4 minus ion exists, but this ion do not exist. Yes, it's completely true. What happens basically, the carbon forms double bond with the oxygen. Okay, so why it does not form basically CO4 O minus 4 minus. Okay, so this will look something like this: O minus, O minus, O minus, O minus. Okay, in SiO4 it look like this: O minus. Okay, now what is the problem? The problem is the small size of carbon. Due to a small size of carbon, this oxygen and oxygen negative repulsion is huge, and due to this repulsion, it tends to eliminate these groups. Okay, rather than keeping with the carbon, they try to eliminate this oxygen so that it can attain stability. But here the silicon size is larger, so that the repulsion is less, and due to the less repulsion, they can basically exist as this. Okay, so this is what happened here. So this is also true. So 6 of them are true. So the correct answer is 6. Going to the next question. total number of amine among the following which can be synthesized by Gabriel synthesis. Okay, so Gabriel synthesis is basically used for primary amine. Okay, so this is true for primary amine, and that too aliphatic. Okay, that too basically aliphatic, not aromatic. Okay, so just choose that. This is the primary amine, this is the primary amine, this is also the primary amine, this is the primary amine, but it's aromatic, not aliphatic. Okay, so this is aromatic, so this will not be our answer. So the correct answer will be the option number 3. Going to the next question. This is the factual question. Chain growth polymers among the following list is. Okay, so talking about the chain growth. So let's choose it. Teflon, yes, it's a chain growth. Chain growth polymers are those where the pi bonds break down to basically form a wholesome chain, okay, and get attached to the other molecule. And those molecules where the elimination of the molecule take place, those are the condensed polymers, okay. So Teflon is a chain growth polymer, Orlon is there, nylon is a condensed polymer, bakelite is basically what we call it condensed polymer. Next is the bunion, this is the chain polymer. Then PHB, this is the condensed one, and then the natural rubber, this is also the chain growth. Okay, so how many of them are chain growth? 4 of them are actually the chain growth polymer. Okay, so the correct answer is option number 4. The next is the sum of number of POH bond and the oxidation state of phosphorus atom in pyrophosphoric acid. So what is pyrophosphoric acid? It's H4P2O7. This is the pyrophosphoric acid. Okay, so if you go for the structure will be something like this: P bond O, P, double bond O, then OH and OH. Okay, here also double bond O, OH and OH. Okay, so there are 4 POH bonds are there. Okay, and the oxidation state is 5. So it will be 4 plus 5 is equals to 9. So the answer will be 9. Going to the next question. This is basically the question from organic, but it involves basically a very good application of what we call it mole concept also. During estimation of nitrogen in an organic compound by Zeldal method, where basically ammonia is released, the ammonia evolved from 0.5 gram of the organic compound. So total weight of the organic compound is 0.5 gram. In Zeldal estimation of nitrogen neutralized by 10 ml of 1 molar H2SO4. So we can say that here the millimoles, just note down what I am doing here. Okay, so millimoles of NH3 will be equal to, as this is neutralized by the acid, so it will be equal to millimole of acid. This is true. Now millimoles of acid, 10 ml is there, 1 molar and H2SO4 is there. Okay, so it will be equal to 2 into 1 into 10. Okay, so this is the millimoles. Okay, so I have taken the volume in the milliliter, molarity, and why 2 I have multiplied? Because the n factor or the number of hydrogen furnished by H2SO4 molecule is 2. Okay, so these are the millimoles of NH3. Can I say that NH3 contains only 1 nitrogen, so millimoles of nitrogen will be equal to millimoles of NH3? Because both of them are, this is also going to contain only 1 nitrogen. So millimoles of nitrogen will be equal to millimoles of NH3. Okay, fine. This is good enough. Okay, so there is, and this is equals to 20. So now we know the millimoles of nitrogen. Can we find out the mass of nitrogen? Yes, we can. So mass of nitrogen will be equal to 20 into, I am converting that into the mole, so 20 into 10 to the power minus 3 into basically molar mass of the nitrogen, that is 14. So this is the molar mass of the nitrogen. Now I have to calculate the percentage nitrogen because I know the mass of the nitrogen. So percentage nitrogen will be equal to mass of nitrogen divided by total mass into 100. Okay, so mass of the nitrogen is 20 into 10 की power minus 3 into 14 divided by total mass is 0.5 gram, so it will be 0.5 gram. Okay, into basically 100 into 100. Okay, and this will be your final answer. It looked to me like the answer will come out to be 56%. So the correct answer is 56. Going to the next is basically you have to choose the value of x in basically how many electrons are involved in this process. So to find out the electron, we can calculate the n factor. So n factor is equals to n factor of any oxidation or reduction reaction can be given by number of atoms which are undergoing the oxidation or reduction, okay, into change in oxidation, into change in basically the oxidation, into basically change in oxidation. So here chlorine is in +5 oxidation state, here the chlorine is in -1 oxidation state. So change in oxidation state is of +6, okay. So it will be equal to 1 into 6. So the correct answer will be 6. So here the answer will come out to be 6 electrons, okay. Going to the next question. The next question is very simple question, and the question says that how many of the following molecule are aromatic, okay. So this is not aromatic, okay, this is not aromatic because the complete conjugation is absent. Here also complete conjugation is absent. These are anilines, and anilines are only aromatic if they have more than 10 electrons, okay. Here it is aniline 8, here it is aniline 10, and they don't these are basically non-aromatic species, okay. They are not actually the this is not anti-aromatic, and this is not actually the aromatic. These are basically the non-aromatic, and this is also what we call it non-aromatic, okay. So remember this. Now the next, here one ring is aromatic, so this species is aromatic, no doubt in that, okay. Here how many pi electrons are there? 6 pi electrons are there, complete conjugation is there, cyclic structure is there. So this is aromatic, no doubt in that. So this is aromatic. Next is this contains 10 pi electron and 10 pi electrons, and basically complete conjugation is there. So this is also aromatic. Next is it has basically a ring here which is aromatic. So the whole molecule is aromatic, okay. So this is also the aromatic. So 4 of them are actually aromatic in this question, okay. Going to the last question of the day, and after this we will finish the chemistry discussion, paper discussion, okay. So enthalpies of the formation of CO, CO2, N2O and N2O4 gases are given respectively, okay. Find the value of delta RH. So how do we basically calculate this? So delta RH, or the delta RH is basically the reaction heat enthalpy, can be calculated by product enthalpies minus the reactant enthalpies, okay. So this can be calculated by HP minus HR, okay. Now what are the products? These are the products, okay. These are the product and this are the reactant, okay. So let's substitute the values here. So in the product there is 1 mole of N2O. So for N2O the data given is 81, okay. So it will be equal to 81 into 1, okay, plus 3 moles of CO2. For CO2 the data is given 393. So it will be equal to 3 into minus 393, okay, plus, sorry, minus, because now this is the product side, okay. Now the reactant side. On the reactant side there are 3 moles of CO and data given for this is 110. So it will be equal to 3 into 110, okay, plus 1 mole of N2O4 is present there and the data given is 9.7, okay. So it will be 1 into 9.7, okay. So now solve it and you will get your answer. If you solve it, then it comes out to be 777.7, okay, and you have to mark your answer to the nearest integer. So it will be 778. So that this is the correct answer, and this completes our discussion of the chemistry test paper for JEE mock test, okay. And I hope that all questions are clear. If you have any doubt in any of the questions, please go to that question, watch that video again, you will get that, okay. So that's enough for today.
Hello students, my name is Chetan Kumawat. I am physics faculty at Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. So today we will discuss about the solution of mock test of JEE Mains which held on 14 July 2022. So the first question is from semiconductors. You are having a transistor, and what is the question? That there is a voltmeter which is connected in parallel to this lamp. There is a voltmeter which is connected parallel to this bulb, and you have to tell what will happen to the reading of voltmeter if you increase the value of this R resistance. That is the question. So you know that the first of all just detect which transistor is this. So there is a misprint, it should be something like that. This side is plus, this side is minus. Okay, so you can see this is the direction of current, so, and this is the terminal which is common, so it's common emitter based transistor. And if you talk about, so it is NPN, common emitter based transistor, right? And this circuit should be in forward bias, which is already there, and this is always in reverse bias. Okay, the same thing is there. So if you increase the value of R, let's say you are increasing the value of R, so whatever is the current or IB base current, that will reduce, right? In the same way IE will reduce, and IE is equal to IB plus IC. So if IE is getting decreased and IB is also getting decreased, so collector current will also get decreased, so the current in bulb will get decreased. That is why the potential difference across bulb will decrease, so the reading of voltmeter will decrease, right? So the voltmeter shows a lower voltage. That is right answer. Moving to the second question, if electronic charge, like the charge of electron which we assume as E, if I take this charge to E instead of E, what will be the effect of kinetic energy of an electron which is revolving in the nth orbit of like the atom, right? So what is the change here? Electronic charge is getting doubled, and you need to tell the kinetic energy. What will be the effect on kinetic energy? So if you do not know like what is the relation between kinetic energy and actually the mass of or the charge of electron, just go in the basic. That first thing is centripetal force is provided by K, charge of nucleus, charge of electron divided by radius square, right? And second thing you must know that ZE is charge of nucleus, which is not getting changed. This term is getting twice, right? And I need kinetic energy. So can I write this term as like this? R and R, one R will get cancelled, and I can write like this. This is my first equation, and if I know that angular momentum conservation should be there, nh upon 2 pi, right? So if you just compare them, nh upon 2 pi, two equations are there. I need the velocity so that I can get the kinetic energy, right? So velocity I need, you just divide them, so you will have K ZE E upon nh upon 2 pi. So everything is constant instead of this. So my velocity is proportional to the electronic charge, and kinetic energy formula is half mv square. So kinetic energy is proportional to v square, v is proportional to E, so kinetic energy will be proportional to E square. Means if E is getting double, then kinetic energy will get 4 times. Third option is the right answer. Moving to the next question, monoatomic gas is taken through a process. This is a polytropic process, and heat is given to the system. Heat is given to the system, so from this we can tell that by sign convention dq is positive, right? So let us just convert into the general equation. This is also in general, but we read so many equations in terms of pressure and volume, right? So let me just convert it into the pressure and volume equation. So I can write T by the ideal gas equation, that PV upon NR into P to the power minus 1 by 3 is equal to constant, right? Everything is constant, so P to the power 2 by 3, V is constant, and this constant values will change, but I am writing only by C, okay? So P V to the power 3 by 2 equal to constant. So this is something seems to be like the equation of polytropic process, where any, like if you compare the general equation, you will get the value of x is 3 by 2, right? And if you know that specific heat capacity of polytropic process is given by R upon gamma minus 1 plus R upon 1 minus X, where X you know and gamma is adiabatic constant. So for monoatomic gas, gamma is equal to 5 by 3, right? So just write here 5 by 3 minus 1 is 2 by 3 plus R upon 1 minus X is 3 by 2. So it should be 3 by 2. So it will 3R by 2 minus 2R means minus R by 2. So just imagine you can write dq as nc dt. So if this c is less than 0 and this dq is greater than 0, how is it possible? The only condition that dt should be less than 0, then only negative and negative after multiplication will become positive, right? So dt has to be negative, and dt negative means temperature is getting decreased, means third option is right answer. Moving ahead, this is a very simple question. So many times JEE Mains have asked, which gate is this? So let's say both are at 0, means low potential, then they will be in reversed biased, right? So output will be 0. But if one of them is at high potential and other is at low potential, so from this there will be no current, but this will flow the current, right? Again you will get some like a voltage potential difference, so output will be 1. And if you take the reverse of it, the same thing, now this will work, this won't work, again you will get output. And if both are 1, so both are in forward bias, again you will get output 1. So which gate is this? Which gate is this? 0 plus 0 is 0, 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 1. It is OR gate. So option number 4 is right answer. Moving ahead. So density of air, you know, this is the question from Bernoulli's theorem, right? Like if you are having a wing, so below to the wing there is some other speed of like what? Other speed of air, that is 150, and above it is 100. Okay, above it is 150 and below it is 100. So you know that according to the Bernoulli's theorem, the total mechanical energy should be constant, that is given by this, and we are talking about wing, so potential energy at both the levels will be same, right? So I am not writing that term. So you can write that the pressure difference is equal to rho by 2 V2 square minus V1 square. Rho is basically the density of air, which is given to you 1.2, so it will be 0.6. V2 square means 150 square minus 100 square, a square minus b square you should apply here, so it will be 50 into 250, so it is 30 into 250, so your answer is 7500 Newton per meter square. And obviously below pressure is higher, that is why the aeroplane will lift up, right? So 7500 Newton per meter square, that is in third option as right answer. Moving to the next question. So a cylindrical metal sheet of radius r is cylindrical. It's a cylindrical metal sheet. It has a finite length, but you will surprise that they have asked a little bit, like from the axis they have asked a very like a small distance. So with respect to this point, you can assume it as a very long. You can assume it as a very long. So it's instead of surface charge, linear charge density, they have given you surface charge density as sigma. So let's say this length is L, this radius is capital R. So how can, and the charge let us say Q. So how can you write sigma? Sigma is charge per unit area. Area of this cylinder is 2 pi r into L, right? Curved surface area where charge is distributed, right? And electric field at this point is given by 2k lambda by r, if you guys remember, if this distance is r, or you can write it as a lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught into small r. And what is lambda? Lambda is charge per unit length. So this charge per unit length, that is lambda, can be written as sigma into 2 pi r square, 2 pi capital R. So just write here upon 2 pi epsilon naught into r. So 2 pi and 2 pi will get cancelled. Sigma r upon epsilon naught r is the electric field at this point. Now what is given to you in the question, that on this curved surface potential is 0, what will be the potential at this point? No worries. So the difference between potential and electric field is given by R1 to R2 E dot dr, right? So E put here and the angle between them is 0 degree, so minus sigma by epsilon naught capital R dr upon R. This is, initially we are starting from this line surface, because we know the potential at surface is 0. So initial limit should be R, capital R, then we are moving to the R, and this is 0, right? Initially potential is 0, that is given in the question. So potential at R distance you can write minus sigma R upon epsilon naught, and integration of 1 by small r will be ln R, that is log R, and upper limit minus lower limit you will do, and it will become ln small r by capital R. And by the log property obviously you can write it like this also, right? Capital R by small r, you can write like this. So second option is, I guess, matching with it, sigma R upon epsilon naught into ln capital R upon R. Okay, moving ahead. So this is the question from Malus law. You know, after a if polarized light of intensity I naught by 2 is passed through a analyzer having a angle theta, then this is the final intensity which will be given to you, right? Which will be like after the polarization, that will be the intensity I naught by 2 into cos square theta. Now just imagine if theta is getting increased, so what will happen? Cos theta will decrease, so cos square theta will also decrease. So from I naught by 2 this intensity will get decreased. But let's say you are increasing the angle 0 to 90 degree. 0 to 90 degree it will happen. But what about after 90 degree? 90 degree to let's say 180 degree? Theta, if you increase the theta, cos theta value will still decrease, but like cos theta ka magnitude will increase. And why I am talking about magnitude? Because we just need cos square theta, that will be positive here. So that magnitude will increase. So after 90 degree, 0, then root 3 by 2, then 1 by 2 again, and again you will reach to 180 as minus 1 square is 1. So after 90 degree again it will increase. So what will happen for intensity? Intensity of emergent beam will decrease to 0 first, 0 to 90 degree it will decrease to 0, then it will increase to I naught by 2 again. Okay, that is in entire rotation. Moving ahead, this is the question from NLM, I can say. We want to tell that if there is a bead, so you have to calculate the tangential acceleration of this bead, means tangentially with what acceleration it will move. So just make the free body diagram of this block. Obviously if we are talking about a tangent, it means we are talking about this line. So if let's say this angle is theta, this angle is theta, so just make its free body diagram. There will be mg force and there is a normal force. Normal will be always perpendicular to the surface, right? So if this angle is theta, this will be 90 minus theta, this is again theta, and this is again theta. So the component of mg which is along the tangent will be mg sin theta. So I can write that the tangential force which is acting on this bead is mg sin theta, and if so acceleration will be force upon mass, means g sin theta. That is my answer, but I don't know what is theta at this point. And it is very simple, just focus on the curve. If you have a tangent on the curve, and what is called this angle? This is slope angle, right? And we can calculate by using the differentiation if I know the equation of the curve. And equation of the curve is given as x square by 4a. So dy by dx you can write 2x by 4a means x by 2a. And do you know the value of x at this point? Just focus at this point, y is equal to a. So if you put here y is equal to a, your x square will be 4a square, means x is 2a. So you can write the coordinate of this point as 2a comma a. So if y is a or x is 2a, just put here x is 2a here, so you will have slope as 1. Slope means tan theta of the tangent. So theta is 45 degree, just put here, you will get sine 45 as 1 by root 2. So your tangential acceleration will be z by root 2, that is in third option. Alright, moving ahead. So this is a question from wave optics, है ना? Sound लिखा है शायद इसमें. Yeah, sound you can say whether it is from wave optics or from the sound, but its basic concept is interference. Okay, so there are two sources and the distance between these two sources is given to you this, and you are having 2 points, one is this, other is this, and the intensity means the wave amplitude is given in the ratio of 1 by 2, and you know intensity is proportional to A square, so intensity ratio will be 1 by 4. So if I assume the intensity of A or S1 as K, so intensity of B will be 4K. That is given to you in the question. Now I want the intensity at A point. So if I want the intensity at this point, I need to calculate the path difference at A. Path difference I am talking about. So S2 has to travel this much distance, and S1 has to this much distance. So this minus this will be only this. So whether I go for A or whether I go for B, the path difference will be same. But the important condition is given in the question that S1 leads S2 in phase by pi by 2. So whenever I will calculate the phase difference at this point, it should be K into path difference, but this is leading. This is leading. Which one is leading? A is leading. S1 is leading and it is nearby A. So your answer should be minus pi by 2, right? Because it was leading. So when you will subtract, when you will get the path difference, it will become minus, right? That initial phase difference. So K is 2 pi by lambda, and delta x path difference is 100.25 lambda minus 0.5 lambda. Lambda will get cancelled. This is 200.5 pi minus 0.5 pi, that is equal to 200 pi. That is the path difference at A. And what is the formula for intensity? Resultant intensity is given by I1 plus I2 plus 2 root I1 I2 into cos phi, right? So for A point, that phase difference is 200 pi. So just put here 200 pi, cos even pi is plus 1. So if you will put here plus 1, I1 is K, this is 4K, and 4K square is again 4K, and this is 1, so it will become 9K, right? In the same way, there will be no change at B, that the only difference will be K into delta x plus pi by 2, because this one is leading, right? So now this phase difference minus this phase difference you will do, so this is already leading, so plus pi by 2 will come. So what will happen in this expression? 200.5 pi, and instead of minus 0.5 you will have this, means 201 pi, that is odd pi. And cos odd pi, cos whatever in the cos which is odd pi is written as minus pi. So this was intensity at A, this is intensity at B, K plus 4K into minus 1, so your answer is K. What is the ratio of IA by IB? 9K by K is 9, that is your answer, which is given in fourth option. Okay, so you should have, like I would say, this is the question from medium to tough category. You should have the proper clarity that what is the meaning of this line, where to add and where to subtract. Okay, moving ahead, this is the question from RMS, very famous question, how to find the RMS value. So RMS value formula is, just read it opposite, है ना? Just read it opposite, square, mean and root, right? So first do the square, then take the mean, and then take square root, है ना? First do square, then take mean, then take root. That is how you write, and you need to find the RMS value only from 0 to t by 4. So can you find this function? If this angle is theta, so definitely you can write tan theta is perpendicular upon base, right? So basically it's the slope of this line. And how to write this equation which is passing through the origin? You can write like this. Y is basically V. So V is somehow related to the time like this with a linear relation. Just put here 1 by total time is T by 4. Integration of V square means 16 V square by T square into dt, 0 to T by 4, and then take the root. So 4 by T is here. 16 V square by T square is constant. 16 V square by T square is constant. Integration of T square is T cube by 3, means T by 4 ka cube by 3, and then take the square root. है ना? T cube will get cancelled. 62 into 4 is 64. 4 cube is 64. So you will have this expression like this, means the RMS value has to be V0 by root 3. That is in first option. Okay. So very simple mathematical question, I should say, from AC chapter to calculate the RMS value. Moving ahead. So this is a very beautiful question, and a beautifully designed question. Let me just explain you what is the question. You have an equilateral triangle of side A, and what is happening here? There is a magnetic field inside this triangle, and there is a charge particle of charge you have to find kya? No, you have to find the magnetic field, and there is a charge particle Q which is entering into this magnetic field perpendicularly from the perpendicular bisector A by 2, like this, है ना? So if side is A, so this will be A by 2. Now see V cross B, this is the direction of force, so it will do circular motion like this, and they have given you that it is also emitting like with the speed V and from perpendicular bisector. This is again A by 2 and A by 2. So if this is A by 2 and this is A by 2 and both are getting intersected here, so definitely it has to be center, and A by 2 is the radius of that circle in which this particle is moving, right? So radius is given by mv by qb, and that is equal to A by 2. So B will be 2 mv upon q into A. That should be your answer, which is given in second option. Very simple, I should say, but conceptually it's good question, right? Easy to medium we can put it in. Moving ahead, the second question number 12 is very beautiful question of EMI, है ना? So there is a wooden stick, है ना? Focus on this term. So wood is basically non-insulator, like non-conductor, or you can say insulator. So in case of insulator, there is no like induced EMF or like concept, right? So if you are, what they have asked is the potential difference across the whole length of the stick is, right? So whatever is the potential difference from this to from this, that will be the same potential difference from this. Like if this is a V will be here and V1 will be here, right? So if you know that if L length of a rod is rotating in a magnetic field, then the EMF induced will be half B omega into L square. And how it comes, if you guys remember, it comes from the integration of BVL, right? B, V we write as omega r, into L we write as dr. This is how we take a element dr at radius r, right? So up instead of 0 to 3L, my limit should be from 2L to 3L. Why? Because there will be only potential difference across this copper coating metal, right? So 2L to 3L, there should be integration. So E will be half B omega 9L square minus 4L square, that is equal to 5B omega L square by 2, which is given in third option. Alright, moving ahead. This is the question from wave optics, and you need to find the phase difference, not path difference. Read the question very carefully. Phase difference at point O. So light will come like this, light will come like this. So first find the path difference. So you know that this distance could have been same, but if you place a slab of thickness T, so there is additional path difference of mu relative minus 1 into T is the thickness of slab, right? So if mu2 is the refractive index of this slab and mu1 is the medium's refractive index of the medium which is happening in water. So this should be my path difference, but the question we have to find phase difference. So what is the relation between path and phase difference? This is k into delta x. And do you know what is k? K is 2 pi by lambda. And if you read the question very carefully, lambda is wavelength in air, but I don't want in air, I want in water. So it should be lambda by mu1, refractive index of water, right? And this delta x you can write mu2 minus mu1 upon mu1 into t. So this mu1 and mu1 will get cancelled. So your answer should be 2 pi by lambda into t mu2 minus mu1. Can we match with the options? Mu2 minus mu1 into t into 2 pi by lambda, that is third option. है ना? Basic question from wave optics, है ना? Medium type question. Moving ahead. So you are having two mass particles, one is of small m, other is of capital M. Due to gravitational attraction force they will come, है ना? And what they have asked is they approaches each other, their relative velocity of approach when they are at a distance d. So there is an instant where both are having a separation of d, है ना? So it will have some velocity, it will also have some velocity, and relative velocity will be v1 plus v2. That you need to find, right? Now you can see there is no external force on the system and there is no non-conservative force on the system. So the trick of loss in kinetic energy, है ना, या gain in kinetic energy is equal to loss in potential energy, you can say. So that is given by mu v relative square, है ना? This is shortcut, or you can say we are solving in center of mass frame because the momentum of the system should be 0. That has to be change in potential energy, that is this, right? So from here you can directly get reduced mass. Mu is reduced mass, m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2 into v relative square is equal to g mm by d. So these terms will get cancelled, and from here you will directly get v relative as equal to 2g capital M plus small m by small d. Okay, that is second option. This is a short trick to save our time. Otherwise the basic funda should be momentum conservation, means initially it was rest, total system was at rest, and finally this is the momentum equation. And second is energy conservation, k1 plus u1 is equal to k2 plus u2, right? Initially kinetic energy is 0, potential energy is 0, finally kinetic energy is this, for small m is this, for capital M potential energy is this, है ना? You can see we have two variables v1 and v2, and we are having two equations, so definitely we can solve them and we can get v1 and v2, and finally you have to do v1 plus v2, you will reach to the same answer. Okay, moving to the next question, right? So you have an elastic string which can be like stretched, and so let's say you have this string of natural length L0. Natural length is L0, like without any external force. So if you apply a force of 4 Newton, so obviously there will be some little extension. All right, so initially length was L0, and let's say this extension is x, and they have given you the total length, that is equal to a. Total length is a, and in an elastic string or a spring, you know that the force is actually equal to kx. What is x here? X is not length of a string, x is basically the extension measured from natural length. So from natural length extension is x, so definitely total is a, and this is L0, so x will be a minus L0. Total is a, natural length is L0, so the extension will be a minus L0. So I can write 4 Newton is equal to k a minus L0. In the same way, if I apply the force of 5 Newton, this length is b. So in case of 5 Newton, the total length will be b and natural length is L0. I have two equations and two variables. What are the variables? K and L0. Just divide them. So you will get L0 first. Just divide them. So you will have 4b minus 4L0 is equal to 5a minus 5L0. You want L0 value, right? So L0 is equal to 5a minus 4b. that should be, if this is A and in case of 5 Newton this is B, then this should be the natural length. Alright, can we find K? Just put any of the equation, the value of L0, you will get K also. From here you can write 5 upon 5 B minus A, so K value will be 1 upon B minus A. So we got the spring constant, or you can say the string, elastic string constant, and the natural length. Now what you are doing, instead of 4 and 5 Newton, you are applying a 9 Newton of force, and now you have to tell this total length. Total length, not extension, total length. है ना? So let's say natural length was L0 and extension is X. So what should be the force is equal to K times of extension. So if total length is C and this is natural length, so extension will be this, and I need to find C value, right? So just put here 9, K is 1 upon B minus A, C I need to find, L0 is 5A plus 4B, right? Minus you will do, so minus will get plus. So this is 9B minus 9A is equal to C minus 5A plus 4B. So C value will be 5B minus 4A. Can you match with the option? That is second option, right? So second is right answer. I would say this is tough question according to the mains level. There is so much of manipulation of equation, but solvable hai. It is not a new question for us. Moving to the next question, very beautiful question. So what is happening here? You have a plane mirror like this, which is suspended from a string. You are having a plane mirror like this, which is suspended from a string. This is a plane mirror, okay, like this. And there is a light which is incidenting on this plane mirror, and this mirror is perfectly reflecting, totally reflecting. So in case of total reflection, the pressure on any surface is by the radiation is 2I by C. So can you get, if pressure is this, so force will be this, area se multiply kar denge, right? And I is intensity. So if this is force, which is applying on this mirror, due to which this entire mirror is getting deflected by alpha angle, and you need to find the value of alpha only, and it is given that alpha is very small angle. Okay, so at this point the force acting in this direction, you know, there is mg and there is tension. If it is in equilibrium, the resultant of these two forces should come like this. So if this angle is alpha, this will be alpha, this should be alpha. So from here I can write tan alpha is equal to F by mg, right? How I wrote this? This is simple vector resultant. If I need this vector along this direction, so resultant is making alpha angle with this. So this by this will give you the resultant angle, right? F I know 2IA by C, that is mg into C, and it is clearly written that alpha is very less. So if alpha is less, I can write tan alpha approximately as alpha in radians. So my answer should be 2IA by C into mg, or mg into C, that is in first option. Moving ahead, so very simple question from fluid mechanics. So there is a ice cube which is floating on a water, and they have asked you how much percentage is outside, right? So if it is floating, so its weight should be balanced by buoyant force. In weight, rho of ice total volume into g is equal to buoyant force mein density of liquid in which it is floating, and volume inside into g. So volume inside will be, density of ice is given to you 900 and water is 1000, so V total, so 9 Vt by 10. So total volume ka 9 by 10 part is inside. So how much is outside? Total volume minus V in you will do, right? So that will be total volume by 10. So you can write it as a 0.1 time of total volume is in total volume is outside of this water. So third option is right answer. Okay, Simple question. Moving ahead. This is very beautiful question of RC circuit. So at first time what is happening, this key is only connected with this. So this is the circuit initially, and you kept connecting it. The like long time after, what will happen? This capacitor will fully charge, right? At t equal to infinity, we say CE and minus CE charge will come. Now you are disconnecting from this side and connecting to that side. Disconnecting from this side and connecting to that side. So this will be my second circuit. So let's say at t equal to 0 you have done this change, and after so much of time, after so long time, what will happen? It will again fully charge, but according to this battery. So so finally new charges will be 2 CE and minus 2 CE. Only from this equation we can answer this question by saying the option. Initially its charge was CE, and finally its charge should be 2 CE, and it should increase. So which option is this? Initially charge is CE here. This can be right, this can also be right, this can also be right, this can also be right. But finally the charge should be 2 CE only. The charge should be 2 CE only. So that is only in this option. So second option is right answer. And obviously if you know the charging graph comes like this only. So what we read is the graph starting from 0, right? In notes you may find this graph. Why? Because initially you assume this capacitor is uncharged, but right now instead of 0 charge you are having CV charge. So this graph will shift by CE, and the same graph nature will be same, right? So second option is right answer. Moving ahead. So this is question from capacitor. There are two charges given to these plates, 2Q to this plate and minus Q to this plate. If you know, like if so many parallel plates are there, then their sum divided by 2 comes on outside charges. So 2Q is here, minus Q is here, so their sum is Q and half is Q by 2. So Q by 2 will come here. And if this is Q by 2, total is 2Q by 2, so it will be 3Q by 2, and equal and opposite will come here, right? Okay, and you should know that this is the charge which will play into the role in capacitor. Inside charges we have to only consider in capacitor. There is no role of these charges in capacitor. Okay, so charge of capacitor is 3Q by 2, and energy is given by Q square by 2C. C is A epsilon naught by D. So just see here, we will get that Q square D upon A epsilon naught. So this is the total potential energy which is stored in this capacitor. Now you are connecting these two plates by a wire. By a wire means potential difference has to be 0. Both should be at same potential. So if potential difference is 0, finally potential energy will be 0. So how much energy will lose, or you can say how much amount of heat will produce in this wire, this much of amount will go into the heat dissipation from this wire. So it is matching with second option, that is right. Moving ahead, question from vernier caliper, very good question. Vernier caliper has 10 MSD, and you should know that vernier constant is 0.1 mm. Vernier constant is basically the least count. Vernier constant is basically the least count. So when there is nothing inside the jaws, basically closed, 0 of vernier lies to the left of the main scale. It means it has negative 0 error. What is happening? This is our main scale and this is our vernier scale. So this much error we have, negative error. And how much it has, let us just find. 7th division coincides with main scale division. So its 7th division will coinciding with main scale division. So obviously what is this error? Negative 0 error. So if total are 10 division and 7th are coinciding, so definitely there is an error of 3 division and 1 division length is 0.1 mm. So 0.3 mm is the 0 error. This is the 0 error. Why I am writing this? In physics we define this error as negative 0 error, and if this scale is like ahead to the 0 of the main scale, then we say positive 0 error, and negative 0 error final result mein we will just add it, and if we are having positive 0 error in final result we will subtract it. So if you are having negative 0 error, we have to add this in final result. And how to find the total reading? Total reading is main scale reading plus least count into matching division, right? Matching division. So total reading, or you can say the main scale reading, is given to you 7.7 centimeter means 77 mm. So it is 77. Least count is 0.1. And which division of vernier scale is matching with the main scale? That is written here is 8 divisions are there, right? So 77.8 mm is the total reading, but this scale has this much of 0 error, so my true reading or the final reading should be, if I have negative 0 error, so I have to add in the final result, right? So it will be 78.1 mm. So that is first option. All right, moving ahead. Question from error, right? So if you are having the expression in exponents, so their relative errors you can write like this, right? Power comes in forward direction, power comes in front of this relative error, and you can write like this. Delta A by A is given to you 2%, delta B by B is given to you 1%, delta C by C is given to you 4%. So delta X by X you can write 6 plus 1 plus 4. B, it should not be B, it should be 2, right? Power is 2. So it will be 2, it is 6 and 4, 6, 4, 10 plus 2 is 12%. So 12% is the error in X, percentage error we should say. Moving ahead. So this is again a simple question from KTG. You are having a mixture of 2 mole of oxygen, 4 mole of argon, and you have to tell the total internal energy. Internal energy is given by this formula. If I want the total internal energy for oxygen, number of moles is 2, CV for diatomic gas is 5 by 2 RT, right? 5 by 2 RT is there, plus 4 moles of helium, and it is a monoatomic gas, so 3 by 2 RT, right? So 2, 2, 5, 6, 11 RT is the total internal energy. So this X value should be 11, right? Moving ahead. So you are having a tower, let's say on the earth, of height 100 meter. So its range will be something like this, right? This is length, approximately this radius, right? And this length is, this height of the tower is very less as compared to the radius of earth. So definitely you can take this as diameter, and not diameter, d is the radius. If you know, the formula is this. So if this distance is 2 root 2 RH, and we have to find this covered area or the covered population, so area will be pi d square, means pi into 2 RH. So this is the area traced by this tower on the earth. But I need to find the total population, and density is given to me this. So what will be the total population? The density, that is 10 to the power minus 3 per meter square, means area. So area, say, let me just multiply it like this. So this is the density, and if I multiply it by area, I will get the total number of people which are living in that circular section of the earth. So 10 to the power minus 3, this is 22 by 7, this is 2 into radius is given to you, radius of earth is given to you 6.37 into 10 to the power 6, height is 10 to the power 200 is 10 to the power 2, right? So let's just try to cancel it out. It will be 0.91, right? So 10 to the power 5 into, it will become 12 into 22 into, this will be 1.82, right? 1.82. Now just multiply with it by, so it will come approximately 40 into 10 to the power 5, right? 22 into 1.8, 2 times is 44, so obviously we want to do 1.8 times, so it will be 40 into 10 to the power 5, so it will nearly be equal to 40 into 10 to the power 5. 40 lakh people are there. Okay, moving ahead. So this is a question from LC oscillation. If you are having a capacitor and an inductor, right, and the maximum charge on this capacitor is given to you 200 microcoulomb. If you know the equation of LC oscillation, the charge oscillate like this, right, with the cos function. Up they are saying that find the value of current I if the magnetic flux through the inductor becomes maximum. What is the formula of magnetic flux? It is B into A. B bole to mu naught into Ni. So if I need flux as maximum, my magnetic field should be maximum. If I need magnetic field maximum, means I need the current as maximum. And current is basically minus dq by dt. So it will be q naught into omega into sine omega t, right? And I need maximum current. So the maximum value of current is q naught into omega, and omega, you know, in LC oscillation it is 1 upon root LC. 1 upon root LC. So q naught is the maximum value, that is given to you 200 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb divided by root LC. L is 2 millihenry, C is 5 microfarad. So LC will be 10 into 10 to the power minus 9, bole to 10 to the power minus 8 minus 4. So it is 2 ampere, right? Minus 4 minus 6 is minus 2, and 200 into 10 to the power minus 2 will be 2 ampere. So what is the maximum value of current? That is 2 ampere. Direct formula based question from LC oscillation. Moving to the 25. So there is a, like you can say, a branch of any circuit where you are having inductor resistance and you have to apply the KVL from A to B. So starting from A point, you are moving in the direction of current, so there will be drop of I into R. You are moving in the direction of current, so there will be drop of L into di by dt across the inductor, and then there is a rise of plus 10 volt, that is equal to VB. And what is asked in the question is VA minus VB. So it is equal to 3 into I, and at what time they are asking? At t equal to 0. So if you see the function t equal to 0, current is 5 ampere, and if you find di by dt at any time, it will be 10 ampere per second. So at every second it is increasing by 10 ampere. So 3 into I is 5 ampere plus L is 1 Henry written in the branch, and di by dt is 10, and this plus 10 will go that side and it will become minus 10. So this and this will get cancelled. So it will be 15 volt. So 15 volt is equal to 3 times of what? 5, right? So x should be 5. Right? 15 volt is final answer. So 3x and x value will be 5. Simple question from KVL, right? This is the, I think so, okay, this is the most like Daravna question, scary question of this paper, but this is quite easy question, I should say. So medium type category we can put this question in. What is given to you in this question? Let us understand. You have this wire and like this, it is not visible like they both are overlapping, but should understand the wire little bit up, then coming back, little bit down, and then again coming back. That is the situation. So this length is L1 and this length is L1 and this length is L2. Can you tell me what is the distance between A and F initially in this diagram? If this length is L1 and somehow if I get this length, I can tell the distance between A and F, right? So can you tell me this distance? If this total distance is L2 and this distance is this total distance is L1 and this distance is L2, so this distance will be L1 minus L2. So this L1 minus L2 plus L1 is the distance between A and F. So 2L1 minus L2 is the distance between A and F. If you will increase the temperature, every dimension will change, L1 and L2 will also change. And how L1 will change? like this. And how L2 will change? Like this. Delta alpha 2, just a minute, है ना? What happened? Yes. So yeah. So distance between A and F is basically 2 times of L1 minus L2, but after increasing the temperature, this distance will be like this by the thermal expansion formula, and that distance will be like this by the thermal expansion formula. But the question says that for which the distance between A and F remains the same at all temperature, means this new distance should also be equal to the previous distance. So you can write it as a 2L1 minus L2, 2L1 minus L2 plus delta T, 2L1 alpha 1 minus alpha 2 L2, right? This term and this term will get cancelled, and you will get that 0 is equal to this. So 2L1 alpha 1 should be equal to alpha L2, means L1 by L2 should be equal to alpha 2 by 2 alpha 1, right? And match with the option that L1 by L2 should be alpha 2 by 2 L1, then only this condition will satisfy. So the value of this n should be 2. Alright, moving ahead. This is again a beautiful question of Doppler effect. So what is happening? This police car is moving with 40 meter per second and this is moving with 30 meter per second, right? Now like the car, the track is perpendicular to the policeman. Now this policeman blows a horn, है ना, of let's say frequency is 40 hertz. So this person will listen 2 types of frequency. This person will listen 2 types of frequency. One is directly, other is after the reflection from the wall, right? So let us just say this is F1 and this one is F2. So we have to find F1 and F2, and if I want to calculate the beat frequency, means I have to subtract them. So directly how to find that? Frequency, whatever is coming, the speed of sound, and observer is moving away, so minus should be there with 30. Speed of sound, source is coming nearby, so frequency should increase, and if it has to increase, so in denominator it has to be minus, then only it will like increase, right? So F into, I guess it is not 320, it is 340, right? So it is 310 upon 300, so 31F by 30. This is the first frequency which this person will hear after the blowing the horn of this policeman, right? And the second will come after the reflection from the wall. So what will be the frequency reached on the wall is F. Wall, you can assume wall as a observer which is at rest, right? So 340, this person is at rest, 340 observer, source is coming towards this wall. Now forget about this. This police car is coming near the wall, so it should increase, so it will be 40. It should increase means in denominator it should be minus sign, right? So F into 34 upon 30 is the frequency listened by this wall, and anywhere who is sitting on this wall, he will listen this frequency. Now this frequency will get reflected and come to this thief, so that is F2. So F2 will be this frequency, and the Doppler shift is, observer in this case is this one, right? It is coming near to the source, so there should be plus, and this is the source, wall is at rest, so it has to be 0. So 34F divided by 30 into 370 upon 34, 0, 0, 34, 34, so 37F by 30. So these are the two frequency. This one is directly listened by this thief, and this one is listened by this thief after the reflection from the wall. and you want beat frequency, it means just subtract them. F2 minus F1 will be 6F by 30, that is F by 5, F is 80, so F is 40, 40 by 5 will be, F is 40, right, 40 by 5 will be 8. So the frequency, beat frequency listened by this thief is 8, okay, heard by this thief is 8. Moving ahead, the very famous question from like Zener diode, they are in kilo ohms. So Zener diode behave as a voltage regulator, it keeps the potential difference constant, it is always in reverse bias. That is given to you 30 volt, so this is 30 volt, this is 0 volt. So across this resistance also we are having 30 volt, right? So what will be the current in this load resistance? 30 divided by 5, so this is 6 milliampere. That is the current in 5 kilo ohm. Now if here is 0, here will also be 0, and this is 90 volt, so this is 90 volt, right? And 90 minus 30 is 60, and the resistance is 4, so this should be 15 milliampere, which is the current from 5 kilo ohm resistance. 15 is coming, 6 is going into that load resistance, so how much current will go in the Zener diode? 15 minus 6, that is 9 milliampere, right? So answer should be 9. Moving ahead, a thin uniform bar of mass 6 kg, this length, make an equilateral triangle. So let's hexagonal here, yeah, equilateral hexagon. So we are having a hexagon like this, each is having length same, mass same, right? Regular hexagon is this, right? And we have to find the moment of inertia about the center. All right, so total length was 2.4 meter, means 6 times of L is 2.4 meter. So L is 0.4 meter. Total mass is 6 kg. So my mass of one rod in the, or you can say one side, is 1 kg. So somehow if I calculate the moment of inertia about this for 1, I will just do 6 times, because by symmetry all are having same moment of inertia. So about this the road has moment of inertia ml square by 12, and this distance I need to calculate. So if this is L by 2, you know that this is also L, right? In case of regular hexagon, this side is L and this is also L, and this angle is 60 degree. This angle is 60 degree, so this will be L sin 60, that is root 3 L by 2. Just apply the parallel axis theorem from this, because this is center of mass. So for 1, I about O, for 1 is about center of mass, it is this, and m d square, d is root 3 L by 2 the whole square, right? So taking 12 as LCM, it will be ml square by 12 plus 9 ml square by 12, so it will be 5 by 6 ml square. Okay? And I want total moment of inertia. This is only due to one rod, so total will be 6 times of this, that is 5 ml square. 5 times of one mass is 1 kg and length of 1 is 0.4 square, so it is coming 0.8 kg meter square. Match with the given answer, it is written as like this. So just compare with the given expression, you will get here as 8. Okay, so very simple question from moment of inertia. Moving to the last question of the paper, peak value of electric field you need to find. I guess there is no, everything is fine. Okay, so you need to find the electric field ki peak value if there is a bulb of 80 watt and you want this at 10 meter. So you know that wavefront will be spherical and intensity at this point is power upon area of sphere. This is intensity, total intensity received by this sphere. But what is written here, the bulb has only 10% of efficiency, means of this total intensity, only 10% is getting converted into electromagnetic wave. So this intensity 10% means 0.1, right? So 8 2 upon, so I can write this as a 1 upon 50 pi. This is equal to the intensity of electromagnetic wave, which is written as 1 by 2 epsilon naught into E naught square into C. and you need to find that E naught, but here you are having mu naught. So can we eliminate this? Can we eliminate this? We can eliminate this very easily. Just listen me carefully. Multiply this up and down by C. 1 upon 25 pi is equal to epsilon naught E naught square by C, and there will be C square, and C is written as 1 upon mu naught into E naught will be mu naught into E naught. E naught and E naught will get cancelled, and you will have E naught square as mu naught C upon 25 pi, right? Just take its root. So E naught will be 1 upon pi square root of mu naught C upon pi. Now compare with the given expression. You are having x by 10, है ना? There is not and there we are having 1 by 5. So just multiply by 2 up and down. Can we compare now? X by 10 is equal to 2 by 10, means x has to be 2. So your answer is 2. That's all from my side. Thanks.